To help young children grow and learn, it is important to screen them early. Keep an eye on them and keep checking on them. For early childhood educators, gathering and analyzing behavioral data keeps teachers to learn more about each student's unique needs, to figure out why they are acting in ways they don't want to, and to make plans that lead to good results. Teachers can keep the classroom a great place for everyone to learn if they do it well and use it correctly. My name is Mr. Gabriel Million, and I work with young children. I know the way a child acts tells a story. Teachers can help kids grow academically, socially, and emotionally by being able to watch records and analyze behavior. By collecting precise behavioral data, educators gain insights into the needs of each child and create classroom environments that are organized, affirmative, and welcoming for all students. This paper talks about how important it is to collect behavioral data and use documentation methods and work with families to reach shared goals and good results. The role of behavioral data in promoting a positive classroom environment. Collecting and analyzing behavioral data helps teachers figure out what causes certain behaviors and what patterns they follow. A child who frequently interrupts circle time may be trying to get attention, having trouble with transitions, or feeling too excited. When teachers have accurate information, they can make plans that directly meet the needs. Say that making decisions based on data helps teachers make the classroom more organized, consistent, and fair. It helps teachers stop punishing students and start using proactive, supportive methods to get students involved and cut down on bad behavior. Methods on documenting and organizing behavioral data. There are many ways for teachers to gather and analyze and organize behavioral data, both formally and informally. Antecedent records, frequently or even recording, and technology tools are three good ways to do this. Antecedent records are brief written accounts detailing behavioral incidents as they transpire. These records help teachers see how things change over time, like what happened before and after a certain behavior. They're especially helpful for learning about social, emotional growth and for sharing information at family meetings. Frequency or event recording means counting how many times a certain behavior happens in a certain amount of time. This method gives you clear numerical data that you can use to keep track of progress. For example, a teacher might keep track of how many times a teacher calls out a student during a 30-minute lesson without raising their hand. The teacher can tell over time if changes have been made and things have gotten better. You can also use technology-based tool like Class Dojo or Behavior Tracker Pro to keep teachers track of behavior. These tools let teachers record their observations in real time and make charts or reports that show how behavior changes over time. They can also help teachers and families talk to each other, especially sending updates right away. The Positive Behavioral Intervention Supports framework says that digital tools help teachers and family work together and consistently save time. Factors that affect data collection. There are several things that could affect the accuracy of behavioral data. When teachers' expectations or personal opinions affect how they see students' actions, this is called observer bias. Environmental elements, including classroom noise or transition between activities, can influence behavior and compliance, the collection of consistent data. Also, if data collectors don't use the same standards, inconsistent results can happen if observers don't agree. To make things more accurate, teachers should be clear about what behaviors are acceptable. Collect data at the same times every day, and if possible, have more than one person watch to get a more balanced view. Collaborating with families in the data collection process. Families are important for collecting behavioral data because they can tell you things about a child's home life, routines, triggers, and that things you might not see at school. Working together to make sure that teachers know everything about a child's behavior in different situations. For instance, If a child has trouble with transitions at school and parents see the same problem at home, both sides can work together to set up regular routines and strategies. Einstein stresses that working together at home and school improves student outcomes and helps keep behavior expectations the same. Teachers can get families involved by giving them simple observation tools or daily behavior reports, asking them to share their observations and keeping in touch with them on a regular basis. Working together like this helps teachers understand behavior and make plans that meet the child's needs. Creating common behavioral goals with families. Setting shared behavior goals with families makes sure that the same things are the same at home and school. For instance, both teachers and parents can agree on using the same calming techniques like deep breath or taking a short break. When a child is learning how to deal with anger, teachers can use digital communication like Class Dojo to share visual behavior charts or updates. When families and teachers use the same methods and consistently praise good behavior, kids have an easier time adjusting and their emotional growth is stronger. This partnership helps the child to learn to trust others and act well in different situations. The differences in behavior data collection, birth, preschool versus K through third grade. The way behavioral data is collected changes based on the age group of kids being watched. Data collection for children from birth to preschool is often less formal and based on what people see. Teachers might use play-based assessments, informal observations, developmentally checklists to keep track of how well students are getting along with each other, how well they can control their emotions, and how well they can communicate with others. In these places, the main things to look for are developmental milestones and how well the child can interact with people. In a K through third grade classroom, collecting data becomes more organized and often uses numbers like frequency counts, behavior rating scales, or self-monitoring charts. These tools help teachers link behavioral patterns to academic progress and the way things are done in the classroom. Older kids can also help collect data by thinking about how they act and setting goals for themselves. Collecting behavioral data for students with and without exceptionalities. Behavioral data must be tailored to accommodate the requirements of all students, including those with exceptionalities. Teachers can usually use standard observation tools, classroom-based documentation for students who don't have disabilities. However, for students with special needs, changes may be needed to make sure that everything is fair and adequate. This could mean making data collection forms easier to fill out, using adaptive technology, or focusing on certain individualized education program goals. For example, a student who doesn't speak may use gesture or picture exchanges to communicate. So teachers write down these types of communications instead of verbal responses. The Individuals with Disabilities Education Act stresses how it is important to change the way we test and are given so they are accurately show that all students can do. Collecting and analyzing behavioral data is an important part of helping kids grow academically, socially, and emotionally. Teachers can make classrooms that are helpful, welcoming, interesting when they know what behaviors mean and use data collections to make decisions. Working with families using the same methods every time and using technology all make the data collection process stronger. Accurate behavioral data collection helps teachers make plans that help every child grow and feel good about themselves and do well, whether they are working with preschoolers, elementary school students, or children with special needs. Thank you.